Make sure this shit is working. Wow, I have a delay. Cool. Okay, here we go. This should be good. My chat is working. My pictures are, in fact, visually there. My audio seems to be good. Everybody say hi.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Okay, all y'all's audio sounds good as well for the most part. Cool, cool. Let me know, ladies and gentlemen, if I need to adjust my audio at all. My intro. All right. Hello and welcome, dear spirits, to the Tables of Tartarus, a chapter of Purgatory Corner. Today, our storyteller is Corin, and we're going to be continuing the tale of Jumpchain RWBY Terminal Season. Come on in, take a seat, and let your imagination run free. Corin, take the floor.
Howdy, howdy. Welcome to the party, everyone. Welcome back to Terminal Season, which in this case is the beginning of the end because y'all are rapidly approaching the finishing line.
Woohoo!
Whoa.
So go ahead and read off that whole recap there because it is the recap. The final battle approaches. Last time, the jumpers traveled to and through the port city south of Atlas, riding the train out to the desolate wastes of Mantle, and met with someone conflicted. Cherubim. Unsure of what to do, of what path he could take that would minimize the deaths of his brothers, he invited each of the hunters, hunter adjacents in Katie's case, to speak of their thoughts on the coming battle. In the end, he found no good answer but had to make a choice regardless. He left quietly and took what few members of his faction were loyal enough to turncoat, praying for your victory not for the sake of your safety, but for the safety of all gospels who survived this second apostasy. They followed the maps given to them by Cherubim to the entrance of the Gospel's base and prepared a large number of explosives to rapidly carve out trenches for combat, with human soldiers from the port city coming through Lynn's portals to prepare to assist you. As you set everything off, shaping the battlefield to your benefit, 4 figures approached. One that stood much further back than the rest, and Jackalope approached the first 3. The first was a tall and thin gospel, wielding a long, thin blade whose metals curved like a wave, only visible now at a close range due to being almost the same color as the gospel's flesh. The second, a short, stout figure, wielding a weapon shaped similar enough to a gun to warrant the parallel, but which just seems too distinct to just be a gun. And the third was the tallest, a massively barrel-chested gospel standing at 14 feet, with thinner, smaller limbs that support him and seemingly no weapon in hand. The third amongst them told Jack that they were surprised he approached so congenially, and that their boss wanted to speak. Surging forward at high speeds, the fourth figure landed in the snow and ice in front of Jackalope, and Kamael, the rage of the father and first guard of the sanctum, spoke. He explained that he realizes now that humanity is not a rodent to be exterminated, a plague to be cured. They are thinking, living, breathing creatures imbued with the same wisdom that the God of Light had imbued the Gospels with at their creation. And, he explained, there was no hate greater than what he felt at seeing those blessed by light squander that wisdom and side with a creature of Grimm. Raising his hand to the sky, a great change occurs on the battlefield, which will be revealed tonight in the beginning of the end of RWBY Terminal Season.
Hell yeah.
Yay. Oh, goodness gracious.
Do we have any questions or things like that before we get started?
Not that I can think of.
Okay.
Yep.
Let me make sure I actually am. I'm going to hit refresh to make sure that I'm actually properly logged into Roll20 and it's not going to give me an error as soon as I try to type anything. Cool, it logged me out. So yeah, that's going to take a second.
God, don't we love Roll20?
Hey, that's what happens when you think, oh, I'll just log in well in advance of the session. Fool. Launch a game now. With Kamael raising his hand to the sky and us all caught up, very rapidly the snowstorm seems to bring itself almost to a complete stop. You can see the bits of snow and ice tossed about in the wind slowing down in the air before coming to a full and complete stop. Every snowflake in front of you is just frozen in the air before suddenly a warm feeling spreads throughout the entire area, like a hot summer's breeze crashing through everything. A lot of the snowflakes, rather than evaporating into steam and raising to the sky, they seem to simply be unmade in the force of the energy building around. And as the entire snowstorm clears up all at once, you can look up to the sky and see the sun shining down, gleaming upon Mantle, as the surrounding battlefield has been completely cleared up of the visual detritus that prevented you from seeing well before. Well, except for Lynn, who could see pretty well either way.
Oh man, this dude just pulled the most coolest move to empty the battlefield. Oh, shnikes. Flip.
Now, shall we begin?
Yep. As Jack's just gonna raise his hand and point it at him.
Hunters don't take that as fire. So
I'm trying to find where I put my placeholder tokens in the giant thing of tokens that I have.
they're in the folder labeled, I won't use these for a while.
Folders. You're hilarious.
Yeah.
For real though, like I can't seem to find. Okay, I'll just use this again. Let's see. If everyone would please roll their speed in order to establish the
I have a very lovely 0.
Oh yay!
Okay,
Oh.
so
1 dice.
oh nice. Okay,
Hey.
so Lynn at 1. So Katie is faster than her. Since on the tie, you ended up with the larger number there.
Oh
Yeah,
man, I don't want to go first. That's so stressful. You just gotta
That's
go.
the person with the highest speed of the entire party.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Well, Katie wants to go first, but you know, I don't know. Okay.
Then so that was for
You can
the
do it. We believe in you.
that was for the rotund one, the very stout-bodied one. I'm turning on Do Not Disturb mode. I keep trying to click into the bottom right of the thing to type things, and I keep clicking Discord and ping notifications.
Yeah.
I'm always on Do Not Disturb.
Yeah, but I like being disturbed sometimes. Wah!
Oh, what?
So let's see. The second one will be the very large one. Jackalope, you. Oh. Okay. This is the 14.
Always, as always, Jack is the slowest.
That is no, you're not.
Oh my god.
Hey.
He's got to
Oh,
ponder
it's
the
me.
battlefield before they rush at each other.
I'm honestly
there's
shocked
one
that they are
left.
both slower than Hunter.
I'm now realizing that I can't actually add a name to these things. Like I can't just name the
Goon 1. Oh.
Goon
Yeah, well,
one.
that's what I was thinking. I was gonna name them Gospel 1 and so on.
Goon.
I call them the goons.
Okay, well, I guess I'm using
Jesus
even more.
Christ.
What, you can't handle a couple of goons?
Goons.
You were either a 1 or a 0. Either one. Sad face.
How do I add a name?
I have not used Roll20 in far too long to be able to tell
Maybe
you.
this will work. Here we go. So this
I'm only seeing
could
my
work.
name on this
Okay. Good to know that I
on
mixed
this
them
turn
up.
order.
That's the problem. So, no, why are they all... Oh, boy. Okay, cool. Just gonna delete those.
If it helps, I'm only seeing my own name.
Wait, what? Why are you only seeing your own name?
I don't know.
I see everyone else. In fact, I even see the
Oh.
Gospels.
I think players only really see their own name, but everybody else's pictures.
on turn order.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were saying that there was like nothing there but you.
No, no, no,
Oh,
no.
no. We see
Oh,
all the
goodness.
people. We just don't see all the names. I only see my name.
Okay.
Is that really how it's set up? Although
Yeah.
all the bad guys are gonna go at once.
Well, we're gonna find out. Let's see. Stout
Thank you.
Gospel actually went and got the 1, which technically ties with Lynn. I'm gonna flip a coin to determine who is, because you both rolled 1d6 and rolled a 6. So if this lands a 1, you go first. It's a 2. The Stout
Meow.
Gospel will go right before you and right after Katie. The 14-foot Gospel is really slow. Then this one is Thin Gospel. It rolled 2 degrees of success.
Eesh.
And
Damn.
the last one is Kamael, which means I need to find yet another token. Gotta think these things through in the future.
Hmm.
Well, Katie will probably recognize this, but that's fine. Just
Mhm.
don't pay attention to what it is.
Don't pay attention to the man behind the screen.
Mhm. Mhm.
There's Kamael, and he rolls 1. And
Oh.
let's see. That's a total of 10 with 1 degree of success.
Is
Which-
Cammy going to like actually roll good this battle?
Let's
Guys,
see.
We might be hecked.
I know.
Okay. Well, since you rolled 3 dice compared to his 2 dice on the 1 degree of success each, Kamael will go right after Katie, ahead of the Stout Gospel. This is the turn
Okay.
order.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So sad I can't just pull out the turn order.
Yeah. So the first move is made by the tall, thin Gospel. The curved wave-like blade seems to shimmer in the light as it moves very quickly.
Mhm.
Its first target is, perhaps unsurprisingly, considering that they're Gospels, Katie.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that sounds about right.
It's going to be using its weapon for a dexterity-based attack. If you can, would you rather dodge with speed or dexterity?
Dexterity.
Okay, go ahead and roll dexterity.
Heck yeah.
Oh,
Oof.
yeah,
Heck
you end up winning.
yeah.
As the
Good
blade
job.
carves through the air, you can hear this faint whistling sound come from it, especially as it very nearly manages to clip the ears on top of your head. However, it does end up completely missing, as it instead seems to be carefully sidestepping now, taking measured steps. It is your move to make a response.
Okay. All right. So, can you remind me what my arm does?
Your
'Cause I
arm
don't
is
remember.
basically it is made of grim fluid. You're capable of using it in order to reshape it, turn it into a grim-based weapon, to be able to use it. You could even use it as a grappling hook if you wanted, but
Yeah,
that's not
yeah.
super useful in this specific instance. Think
Mm.
of it as, do you remember inside of the Legend of Korra, the waterbender of the Red Lotus who had no arms and used the water as like tentacles?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, you could use it in a way similar to that if you wanted.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's what I figured. Okay. What does the terrain around us look like?
Largely flat in the area that you're around, though right behind you is the trenches that have been built up. Speaking of which, I completely forgot that you did, in fact, get a whole bunch of.
We brought the army,
Yes.
bro.
Yeah, you brought an army, so I'm going to also.
We brought the army. America.
America!
America.
Army time!
But you know, America brings its army.
What you got there? Casualties.
Yeah, smoothie.
Your
A
freaking
smoothie.
future.
I'm just going to use the yellow jacket.
Oh god, I remember
Nice.
those.
There we go. And this will be its 0. Versus Hunter, what did you roll? You only have
rolled a
1
3.
dice. So
Yeah.
these will actually go just before you. Okay. Katie, what would you like to do?
Okay. So Katie remembers that this guy has like lasers and things. So she's gonna have to kind of like zoom me around in order to dodge all like this stuff here. So she's gonna kind of like strafe about and she's gonna like fire I'm gonna say I'll just use Senorina Left Tap, some fully automatic type bullets.
Okie doke.
Yeah.
And who are you specifically shooting at? Kamael or the one who jumped you?
I'm gonna go with
Want to gang up
the.
on Kami?
I do hate Cammy a lot.
Kami's the boss. What if we, I don't know. Up to you.
True, but like Cammy's gonna have like big flashy attacks, and the other guy like jumped me, so he's gonna be like the tinier but like speedier guy. So I feel like I should shoot him. Also, he
Okay.
attacked me, so.
Fair.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go all pew pew on this nonsense. It's a
Okay.
Heliang around.
I was pulling up a character sheet for Kamael.
Oh.
Could you tell me again what you were doing?
I'm gonna shoot the guy who jumped me.
Okay. Then go ahead and make a dex-based attack. It will
Roll
attempt to use speed to avoid
2
it.
degrees.
Oh, nice.
Wow, good job.
2
2
degree-
degrees. 2 higher degrees.
However,
Oh my
the
gosh.
person who wins ties and success counts is the person who has the higher stat.
Oh.
5s and 6s are basically the same number in this system. So because you have a 4 in the stat, but they have a 3 in the stat, you win the tie.
Heck yeah. It's really close too, because like we
You
have
both
the
hit
same
rolled 16 as
total.
well.
Yeah.
Identical.
Whoa, good job.
Cammy brings out the weirdest probabilities in us.
Yeah, he really does. So as you start firing upon I'm literally looking the thin gospel. I don't know why I couldn't read what was right in front of my eyes. As you're firing upon the thin gospel, it looks almost like it's going to be able to dodge away, but it doesn't quite. Its foot catching on a broken chunk of ice from all of the explosions. And as it stumbles gracelessly, you end up managing to land a couple of different shots on it. Can you go ahead and roll me a 1d6 for damage? Okay, 3 points of
Decent.
damage.
Good job.
And I will use, let's see, so...
That's why I'm the master of the Hot Wheels.
0. 0 and 3. That way we can keep track of how much damage you've dealt. However, the next person to move is Kamael. He slowly raises himself, seemingly even taller, though you can note it seems to be that he's starting to hover about a foot off the ground. However, from the haze coming off of the area around his legs, as well as the fact that the ice is rapidly melting underneath him, it seems that whatever he's doing is involving high speed, but a lot of heat. Let's see. This is going to be 3d6. His target is the person right in front of his face, which is to say Jackalope.
Cool.
That's 1 degree of
Don't do it.
success. What would you like to roll in response?
Real quick, since Hunter was more or less holding an action to shoot him, does this count as activating that action?
Not quite, because you specifically stated that your thing was going to be when Lynn gave the order, meaning that at least until Lynn's turn, you couldn't. And additionally, we've already done all of the rolls for initiative. But I will, on Lynn's turn, I'll let you take another shot because you did specify it.
Coco?
Okay.
I'll move out of the way, given his thing is sunbeams.
Okie doke. Then you can use either Dex to represent acrobatically moving out of the way and consorting, or Speed to represent running out of the way.
We're gonna use Dex because Jack's not exactly a speedy boy.
Alrighty.
Jack, you're failing me today, Bubba.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
Kamael rapidly surges the several feet forward that it takes to reach towards you, his hand surging out. You attempt to dodge back, but just
Am
like
I
the
able
Thin
to do
Gospel
anything?
before you,
Can I push
I'll let
him?
it's go ahead and make me a semblance roll. That's supernatural plus 1d6.
Supernatural, right?
Mm-hmm.
Plus D6. Ah.
Okay. Fortunately, the plus 1d6 is a bonus dice, which can never be a negative on you. That is technically 1d6, and his response will be his own supernatural rating. Unfortunately, 2 degrees of success is higher than 1.
Sad face.
You attempt to use your gravity manipulation in order to, say, maybe pull him out of the way or push him into like a little bit closer so it's not as hard of a hit. But whatever's going on in the air around you, it feels almost like it's solidifying and fighting against you. And the shot does land against Jackalope.
Oh.
Jack, the first thing that you note is not the impact of his hand. In fact, you don't even notice an impact as it stops about an inch away from your chest. What you note is the searing heat that burns through a good chunk of your shirt as you get pushed back. See, you take 3 points of damage. As just like before, it seems that he's not using impact-based attacks, but instead focusing on heat.
Oh dang. He's getting smarter.
The next one to move is the Stout Gospel. Let me scroll to the correct character sheet. Okay. The Stout Gospel, instead of charging into the fray, leaps back a fair bit and raises that construct on its arm. And as it adjusts, you can tell that it's very blocky and heavy, and it does take aim at Lynn.
Oh no. If I was approaching before, I think I don't know if I specifically said that I had my shield out though. Frick.
I'm not sure, but I'll say that you did, since we're in combat, and I could swear you mentioned something about your shield last time. So,
Okay.
so if you're rolling to endure, add a bonus dice to your endurance. If you're trying to dodge, though, I'm not sure that your shield will help.
The shield that I have has durable and reinforced and hyper efficient design.
Okay,
So
so
it's like
it's
3 things.
I'd say then give 2 bonus dice, and it cannot take damage. So your weapon cannot break, and I won't roll damage against it. The endurance will just determine whether or not it's capable of going through it to you. For example, like if you try to block somebody with a shield, even if the shield catches the impact, you might be rattled.
Oh man, I'm
So,
not good for endurance though. Fuck.
well, you do have 2 bonus dice, which cannot be negative.
Okay, well I guess I'll +2 to whatever this is, or plus the dice. Oh shnikes.
Okay.
2d6. Somebody. Okay.
That's a degree of success.
Something.
As you raise your shield, it's there rather than feeling like another impact. You hear thunder ring out as lightning surges out from the gun-like apparatus. It ends up impacting the shield, but while you can feel your arm going numb from the static, you don't take any damage from this.
Whoa. Lightning attack.
You can hear the stout gospel mutter some annoyance under his breath. The exact nature of it, you can't really tell. Lynn,
Oof,
it is now
okay.
your turn. If you make the call for Hunter, Hunter can immediately make a ranged attack independent of his turn, since he held his action from before.
I'll do it. I'll say, Hunter, there. And I think it was like, I don't know, I pointed to like come out or something.
Nice.
Yes, your target was Kamael because you highlighted the fourth figure that had been approaching, and Hunter, in the last episode, had asked for the location of that fourth figure. The only
Okay,
person you
cool.
can shoot with this free action is Kamael.
Cool.
Alright.
I was guesstimating there.
All right, that's just dexterity.
Yes.
God damn.
Oh, something. Well,
All right.
oh goodness.
Yeah, I got rid of the bad roll. Jesus Christ.
What is this roll?
What is
Now-
this shit?
Oh no.
Kamael
Oh, no.
has a very high endurance as part of one of his abilities, but it comes at a
Oh.
slight trade-off. He gets a really high endurance, but he doesn't get to mitigate damage.
Hmm.
Instead, this is, let's see, you had 0. This is versus 2 degrees of success, which means, let's see, Kamael is at +2. Go ahead and roll your damage, which in this case is going to be 1d6.
All
does
right,
that
1d6
work?
plus 3 because of my bullets.
Oh, you're right. The additional damage from the other things.
He wants to get hit. Oh no.
7
Oh
damage.
no. Wait. What was that last? Fuck.
Oh,
Fuck.
sorry.
Remember that
that's
last-
Right, 1d3 as well. Sorry. No, it was plus 3. So yeah,
Yeah, it's +3. So
7 damage.
let me roll.
Oh, I
up.
think I remember that special thing that happened with Kamaya last time.
Yeah, there was a very specific thing about Kamael. As you fire the shot, and you manage to, it slams heavily into him, and the detonation from the explosive rounds damages the red shawl across his shoulder.
And I believe I
it's clear there's-
stated that it was a fire round as well last episode.
Okay, the fire spreads around a good amount of the shawl, but
Mhm.
instead of, you specified fire, right?
Yes.
Against Kamael. Go ahead and roll 1d6.
Oh no. You just shot fire at the sun god.
Oh,
Is it
God.
resistance?
Okay, so the fire heals him for 4 points of damage.
Are
Motherfucker.
you kidding me?
You shot fire at the sun god.
Whoa.
That is his specialty. Is specifically fire interaction. That's why he uses the
Whoa.
sunbeams and lasers and things like that. But you're
Well,
very
now you
quickly being
know.
able to tell, do not use fire on this man. As
Now
you
you
can see
know.
that the flames, as they spread across a part of his body, it covers over the dent in his skin, and he watches the shawl stitches itself back together with the flames.
Whoa.
He seems
Is the
a little
blizzard
bit
still going on, or did he clear that?
No, he cleared the entire thing. You can see the sun.
Okay, good. Hunters don't start cursing under his breath.
Yeah, just like the stout gospel.
Oh man.
That means that the called action has been confirmed. Lynn, it is your move.
Okay. So it was so long ago when we fought Kamael last, and so many things have happened.
Your
I can't
character would remember.
Personally remind you. She would remember?
Yes,
What do I
absolutely.
remember about the thing that he had a special ability of like
He
was
could
it he
ta-
was like attached?
he would target somebody, such
Uh-huh.
whoever he was whoever he hated the most would take the same amounts of damage that he took.
Oh, okay. And so it can target someone he hates and can give
So-
share the pain? Same
Yes.
pain?
Oh. For example, if you were fighting Kamael, the same Kamael as back then, he could have dealt 7 damage to whoever he hated the most in the area once he was hit for that 7 damage. You would not get healed by the same amount by the fire, though.
Katie does not remember this, just so you know.
Yeah.
That's fine. You weren't there for most of the fight.
Oh,
you
that's
you broke
fair.
into the thing later.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, because I'm like, wait, he has a special ability. Okay, so it's not that like, okay, it was just because we were like, okay. I don't know if he hates people the same amount now, or if it's just like kind of a battle now.
He
Um.
described what he feels for humanity as a race as perfect hatred.
Oh, well, there
Maybe
you go.
he hates everyone equally.
Well, that's not great. This ability's not great.
Well, then again, you might not see me as entirely human, so
He might hate you more.
you might hate me
Well-
more. Especially when I pull
Well,
off
I
my
guess let's
winter
try to-
jacket.
Yeah. Okay. Well, right now he doesn't have that ability going, so I guess I'll take 2 pot shots at him because I can do that through my shield without deactivating it.
Nice.
Okay.
My
Yep.
little umbrella parasol. Am I also able to do the third tack combo, which is using the gravity well for the damage for that thing? Some unlocks.
Let's see. So you're talking about utilizing your gravity well as an attack on top
Yeah,
of
because I
shooting.
had it. Yeah, because I had it unlocked that I could use one as an attack, and then
Yeah,
I have the.
I'll allow it because I usually consider semblances to be considered a different action from your main action. So you would be allowed to make both of those attacks. Yes.
Let's go ahead and try to hit him. Let's see how
Okey-doke.
let's see how that works.
First
Plus
first roll your dex and then roll your supernatural +1.
cool. And then monstrous creature. Is he a monstrous creature? I guess so.
He is very humanoid.
Ah, fuck. Okay, just dex then. Oh, nice. Oh, fuck, that's
That's-
it was different than what I rolled. Oh, fuck. Okay.
Okay.
Not that good.
Go ahead and also roll supernatural +1.
Goodness gracious.
Mm.
Not getting it today.
Wow.
Nope.
The rolls are just not
Oh boy,
in
that's
our
a lot of
favor.
force.
A lot of force.
All right.
And then I'm
you
gonna
said
back
you're
up, I
shooting
guess.
you were aiming at Kamael?
Yes.
Okay. So, Kamael has a dexterity of... Okay. His secondary ability does kick in. Okay. He does end up dodging the first attack, and his supernatural is so. And then that's 1d6. Oh, but he does not do well. That bonus
Jesus.
dice, that bonus dice is the only reason that it's not a critical, since
Whoa.
bonus dice don't count towards the original thing.
Mhm.
So, your second attack does actually hit.
That's surprising.
Yeah. You're using your gravity well in order to basically crunch and rip apart his body with the forces of gravity, right? Opposing
Mhm.
G forces.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You watch it start to warp a chunk of his body. The air itself seems to distort a fair bit. As go ahead and roll 1d6 damage to him.
Give it a 1. Oh, nice.
Okay. Oh, that's 5 points of damage, and that reminds me, you roll his endurance ability kicks in, meaning he gets his 66, and the difference is okay. So 1 and 2 and 3.
Jesus.
0. Kamael is now at +5.
Oh, wow.
This does not prevent him from taking the 5 points of damage, though, which now raises him to having taken 8 points of damage.
What's the +5? Wait, I missed
That's
something.
a good question. That's a good question. When he's
Oh,
getting
it's just
hit,
getting
something's
hit.
building up.
Oh, is it freaking jack shit? Oh no.
The Elysian
that jack
soldiers.
shit, Jesus.
So
Is it
it. Sorry, what'd you say?
I was like, oh, no offense to that. I was just
What were you saying, Jack?
Accurate response.
Yeah. In the case of the Elysian soldiers, you can have 2 choices of orders. 1, they can make an attack, or 2, they can go for suppressing fire, which will make it until the next turn of the Elysians, you're able to gain some form of bonus on each of your turns. For example, you could get a plus 1d6 bonus dice from trying to attack them because they're trying to avoid getting shot by the soldiers.
I mean, given Jack's nature, he'd just scream open fire.
Okay. Then in that case...
But so Jack's not the only one up there, so I think Katie has a say in this.
It's true. Katie, you hear Jackalope shout, open fire. Do you do anything to belay that command?
Attack and go!
Okay. Now, I'm rolling 2d6 plus the whole. So basically, each cluster represents an attack on a different target. That's 1 degree of success, 2 degrees of success, 0, and then 0. Okay. Now against. Oh boy. Okay. So Stout is going to take a hit. Then. And he failed his endurance, so he's going to take full damage. Tall, however, passes. Just barely. Tall is able to avoid. The Thin Gospel is able to avoid it. The 14-foot Gospel is going to roll to endure. And endures it. And Kamael is just going to tank it. He's just going to take several shots at him, and we're going to see if it does any damage.
Good
It does
Christ.
no damage, but at the same time, the hits don't deal enough to increment his counter. You can tell that he barely even notices the shots as they glance off of him, none of them landing a direct hit. Now, that's 1d6 for the first one, and failed half. Then the second one was 6. Okay, so the one that took damage was Stout. Here is the damage dealt as of now. Hunter, it is your official move.
Hunter's seeing the fire run across him, gonna curse, and he's gonna immediately drop out his fire rounds and slot in his gravity rounds instead. So those things pack a punch to hell. And yeah, he's just gonna try headshotting Kamayo again, because
Okay.
the other
Are you
ones
going
are
for-
terrifying, but he's kind of annoyed that he healed him.
You want a called shot in order to deal bonus damage at the head but make it harder to hit, or are you just going to go for a torso
You know what?
shot?
Let's go with the cold shot.
Okie doke. Go
Bring it
ahead
up.
and make your usual roll. However, you do have to beat the opponent by 2d6.
Oof.
In his case, he rolls.
God fucking damn it. Yeah, I
Okay.
doubt that's gonna happen.
Now, he also gets, due to his ability, let's see. So, firstly, that's 0, but
Christ.
0 does beat -1. Yeah, the shot goes off and it slams directly into the ground near him, but clearly something must be off with your sights because you end up beefing it with that round. The detonation of the gravity round destroys a good chunk of the ice and snow in the area, but by the time that it tries to bounce upwards in order to fill the air, it just disappears like the rest of it.
Annoying. He's gonna start trying to fix his sights.
Okie doke. Jackalope, it is your move, having just been struck by Amael.
Thunderstruck.
How high up off the ground is he?
Only about a foot.
Well, alright. I'm just gonna deck him in the stomach.
Okie doke. Go ahead and make a strength roll. Okay. Now, he is going to make an opposing strength roll in order to basically bounce the attack back. So roll an additional 2d6 due to his abilities. Okay, so you have 2 degrees of success versus his 2 degrees of success.
That's a
Oh.
critical, isn't it?
Not quite. Because firstly, it needs to be 3 degrees above the target.
Oh, okay.
And in Jack's case, across the 6
degrees?
dice rolled, that's 2 degrees of success, since the 1 and the 6 cancel each other.
Hmm.
And then in this one, 3 degrees of success minus 1, 2 degrees. So that's a tie, but the one with the higher base stats ends up winning. As you swing your fist into his stomach, he swings his fist back into yours, and the two of you bounce off of each other. However, while neither of you take damage, your ability is about kinetic force. So go ahead and roll 1d6 to build your charge. You have a
got
full
this.
charge immediately.
Jesus Christ.
Whoa, heck yeah.
Jack getting pissed.
You can feel the force that should be enough to shake your bones slam into your fist, but instead it only builds up to a greater strength inside of your arm.
Heck yeah.
14-foot gospel is the next one to move, as it raises its hand high and then swings down into its own torso. There's a heavy, resonating gong that spreads throughout the battlefield. And you tell that the other gospels immediately all mutter something in unison. Whatever it is, it's not a language you're familiar with. Hamael is now at 4 charges, having expended 1. And, let's see, 1d. And Katie Henderson, you feel warmer.
Uh-oh.
Spoopies.
Okay.
Next one to move, the Thin Gospel, will continue an attack on Katie, trying to swing with dex-based grace.
Okay. Rolling dex.
Yep, dex or speed, whichever one you want.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
Dude, the dice are just being rude today.
this
Oh.
They're
time
mad at us for last time.
the whistling blade cuts through the air once again, but this time it does land purchase on you, but only barely, grazing a part of the arm that is composed of the grim fluid. It hurts, but it doesn't hurt like flesh does. Instead, as it cuts, you can feel that your arm very rapidly pulls itself back together. Still injured, but by no means truly deeply harmed.
Mm-hmm.
Then it continues to do its careful sidestepping, crouching low as it tries to keep an eye on you as your turn begins.
Okay. Is Lynn's gravity well still on? On Cammy?
Yes. It is it is basically active at the moment.
Okay, so he's like right there, and the gravity well is like on him.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know it was still on.
You didn't state that you deactivated it, and you have the capacity to do 2 external ones. So unless you chose to deactivate it, nothing has made it so that you can't maintain it.
Okay, do you mind if I do something possibly really dumb?
You mean
The
pull
floor
a
is
Henderson?
yours, Katie.
I feel like that's Katie's entire MO.
That's her motto. It's the subtext on her movie. So I'm gonna like pull off my puffy winter jacket. So the arm is like all there, and I'm going to use the tentacle to kind of like wrap around Cammy in order to pull myself like toward him, grapple onto his back, and stab him with my frost knife
Okay.
on the blade. Yeah.
Whoa.
Well, since you're utilizing the gravity well to let yourself get pulled in that much easier, I'm going to say go ahead and make a dex-based attack roll with your knife and add a bonus 1d6.
Okay. Do and
Okay.
do.
Bonus
Okay.
dice don't count, so you have a degree of success.
Okay.
In his case, he's not rolling to avoid. See, you have 1 degree of success. He has 1 degree of success. It's a tie. There's no incrementing the counter.
Okay.
Katie, as you use your arm like a grappling hook, holding onto him and pulling yourself in, you manage to sink the blade right into his back, but it only goes in about. Go ahead and roll 1d6 for damage.
1d6.
It only goes in
Oh,
about a
3.
couple of inches before it seems to be stopped, and you can feel your body warming up even more. But this time, from your proximity to Kamael.
This one's for Fluffy. Does the ice
Oh.
dust on that blade do anything?
Go ahead and we're gonna roll. Oh, ice is specifically unmade in his presence, not merely melted. So the answer is no.
Okay. All right.
You did still
I
manage
was
to
I
deal
was
3
hoping
points.
I was hoping that like maybe
Oh.
there was like some anti thing with like the fire thing. I'm trying to figure out this. It's like Pokemon, you know. I'm trying to figure out my elemental advantages.
Okay.
The other one wasn't gonna do anything. Actually, the other knife is fire, I think. So that would have done less than nothing, right?
Yes. If you had stabbed him with a fire knife, you could have potentially healed him for more than you hurt him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Feeling heat. She got hurt?
Not harm, just the area around Kamael is very warm. Kamael chooses to spend his turn focusing on his abilities, and you see something very much change about him, but you're not entirely sure what. It's more of a supernatural sense than it is your physical ones, as one of his abilities is now changed. Let me see. He was at 5.
I
So
like to think there's a lot of steam coming off of him
Goodness.
from the ice.
okay, and he is at 4 counters. Okay, so
It's
from
also going to
this
give me an interesting
spot-
vantage point to the other Gospels.
So the 4th player in the turn order after Kamael is Katie. The 3rd is Jack, then Katie, then Lynn. Okay.
Huh?
And Hunter.
Uh-oh.
Katie, Lynn, Jack, Hunter.
What is this?
Oh, is this the hate counter? Is this his tier list?
That's not incorrect.
Wow, he just don't care about me. I'm fucking
best
helping
rank.
him now.
Yeah, you're healing him. Yeah, just keep firing those fire rounds.
I'm
Healing
S
him.
rank on his tier list.
Oh,
I'm not surprised by that in the slightest.
The stout gospel
gosh.
turns its gun away from Lynn and instead targets Katie.
oh
Katie,
no.
you're currently grappled onto him.
Can I use
how-
it as a meat shield?
Feel free to go ahead and try and turn him. It'll be a strength versus strength. You get a bonus dice because of your
Like
Can I
spider
use?
over his
situation.
body.
Can I? Yeah.
Spider
Can I
over
use?
his body.
Can I use dexterity to like kind of shift myself around?
Yes, I will allow that.
like a spider. It's just like nope,
Crawl.
nope.
Just being a lizard. She's crawling all over him.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, that is a.
So
I
cute.
am willing to let you use Dex for that.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay. And
This is the second.
that's a degree of success.
dang. Oh my gosh, these
Really?
guys.
The shot will end up impacting you. The lightning slams into your back, dealing 5 points of damage to you.
Oh my
Jesus.
gosh.
Wow.
And 5 points of damage to Kamael as well.
Ah.
Friendly fire.
I'm just like bruised. And it's just like you shot your boss.
Less bruised, more quispy.
Ow.
Kamael's taking a good amount of damage thus far. It seems that that's all the Stout Gospel's capable of, firing his gun repeatedly, so it's going to move to Lynn.
Okay. Should I try hitting Kamael again? Up that damage counter? That's probably gonna kill me in the end, though. I don't know.
If you want, you can.
These other guys haven't moved yet. Oh, I'm very, very cautious about these other people. But I don't want to get off the ground. Okay. I'll just take another 2 shots. And then the gravity well on Kamael.
Okay, so go ahead and do Dex for your gunfire and Supernatural for your semblance. Remember your additional bonus d6.
Let me just check over stuff. Nothing else. Oi. No bueno. What was
Okay.
that? Dex? Oh, okay. And then
He's not
These
going
dice,
to try
man.
to dodge.
I
You're
know.
at 0 versus his 1, 2. So he increments his counter by 2. Sort of.
Supernatural, and then
How many times have we rolled?
That's a lot of 3s and 4, 4, 4s.
Good
Oh, but that goes
lord.
through.
More
And
times than we should have.
okay, so 0s and 1s both hit. Oh, okay, and he does not increment his counter on this one either. Okay,
yay! 1d6
so
Well, that's something. at least.
damage.
yeah, actually
Ah,
do two
well.
2d6 damage because the the shot didn't miss. Since he's
Oh,
not
fuck.
trying to dodge, you hit on a 0, and that 1 and 5 balance each other out.
Oh, thank you. My gracious. It must be a 1. Oh, what? Oh, it doesn't
Gotta be
work.
slash
What the heck?
R, not R
Oh!
slash.
Oops. That was me. I'll fix that.
Okay, so that's 4 more points of damage. And it's becoming very, very clear. Hamael is purposefully tanking these hits.
Yeah, he does that.
Oh yeah.
From the way
Yeah.
that he's looking across the battlefield, he wants you to hit him, and he is not hiding that fact.
Mm-hmm.
The Elysian soldiers, assuming that there's no further or no change in orders, I believe they'll make the same attack.
Yeah, there's no change.
Okay. All right. In order, that will be the 14-foot thin, Kamael, and Stout, because that's
Oh,
their
good
order in
job,
there.
guys.
Yeah, it's pretty good. So 1 degree, 1 degree, 1 degree, -1 degree. The -1 degree.
Better than
Okay.
our rolls so far.
Yeah.
So 1d6, 1d6, 1d6. Okay, 5, 1, 1. The 14-foot gospel ends up taking a good amount of damage from that shot, as it seems to slam right into his joints on his smaller limbs. But as you look at the thin gospel and Kamael, it doesn't seem like the shots are doing much at all to them. It's enough that they're impacting and dealing damage, but neither of them seem worried about it, especially not Kamael. Which also means, because he took damage, 0 degrees versus, yep, so it does not increment his counter, because he's just rolling trash.
Oh.
It is your move, Hunter.
Okay, so what Hunter is going to do is very clearly Kamael is doing all of his fun shit, which kind of annoys him. The 14-foot one has just not been injured at all. So
No, it just got damaged from the shots by the
by the
Elysians.
Elysians, that's right. Well, that's pretty
You
good
don't want to
because
gang up on Kamael like we all are?
yeah, he feels like he has hindered your guys' battles a little bit there. So
Oh no.
he's gonna turn his gun to the 14-foot one because it's tall as fuck. And he is going to do a regular snipe onto it, gravity rounds.
Okie doke, go ahead and make me a dex versus, let's see, you said the 14-foot one,
God,
so.
motherfucker.
Wow.
Oh wow. Oh.
Well,
Well,
that is a tie, and you have the higher statistic. You do land the shot.
that's not a tie. I got 0 to the 1. Or to the
Oh, you're
negative
right.
1.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. I just, yeah, you still hit then, because
All right, cool.
-1 on a dodge, they take full damage.
Nice. So is that 1d6 plus 3, and what does gravity round give me?
Gravity round just does an additional 1 point of damage.
Oh, okay,
It
so
hits
1d6
hard.
plus 4.
Yes.
Motherfucker.
Okay.
That's
Well,
alright.
These
That's
dice, man. I don't know what's going on today.
okay.
They are
and
mad at me for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
that takes it to Jack's turn.
This may not be smart.
That seems to be the key thing for this half of the team.
Hey, I'm the one on
Yeah.
Cammy's back here.
Get up on the Cammy's back.
Well, I'm gonna jump up on stinking good old Sunboy. I'm gonna headbutt him.
Okay. Go ahead
Dang.
and make me a strength roll, since
Hey,
that
I'm the
that
one
sounds
on
like it.
Cammy. Y'all are supposed to focus on the other guys.
And roll an
Yes, you're
additional
hugging
plus
him.
2d6.
And say that again.
Roll an additional plus 2d6.
Okay.
Okay.
I have nat 0.
Yeah, that's all 0. And 2 degrees of success. It's not critical difference. As you end up slamming it once again, he swings his head down to meet yours. Your head is spinning a bit, but you didn't take damage from it, since this is just him defending himself rather than making an attack. However, you do end up having to take several steps backwards as you reel, and it seems that Kamael is getting smugger.
You
My gosh.
copied my ability.
Interesting that you'd say it like that. But not quite.
Kinetic impact absorption. I would have taken damage from that. But you
No,
absorbed the impact.
not quite. I'm not absorbing the impact, you see. He raises his hand to his forehead and rubs at it, and for a brief moment you can see what looks to be a small mark, some sort of red symbol that appears for only a moment.
I'm on his back. Can I look closer at that?
You're on his back, not his front,
Curses.
and it's on his head.
Curses. Oh, turn around. I want to see.
You're a durable one, human.
Oh, thank you.
Not you.
Aw.
Sad face.
Yeah. Your head is ringing, and it's uncomfortable. But I don't think... do you want to use a movement action to try to close that distance again to get into, like, face-to-face? Or do you want to try to retreat?
No, Jack's gonna go forward. One, he's got gunfire all around him. He knows full and well that retreating is probably not a good option right now.
Okay. The gospel, once again... Oh, the 14-foot gospel once again slams his hand into his torso, but this time the resonation is lower. And it rings out louder. Let's see. Everyone who has... Okay. Everyone now feels warmer. All of you. Well, all of the players feel warmer. Player characters.
Kind of annoying.
It's not good.
Whatever's going on with that 14-foot gospel, it's clearly trying to build up to something alongside Kamael, given the way that he's looking down on all of you. But the thin gospel is... Since Katie completely moved out of combat and disengaged from it, it instead turns to look at what is functionally a much closer target. Lynn, I believe that you said that you hadn't yet taken off of the ground.
No.
Okay. Then it will charge at you for a dex-based attack. Do you want to dex dodge, speed dodge, or endure?
Dex is my best, and just in case, I might use that extra dex one that I have in store. Get out the way. And I also have the body gravity that I always have on. Can that also help me get out?
Yeah, you could use that in order to try and pull yourself out of the way. I'd let you get an additional d6 from that.
I don't know if I need it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's 2 degrees at the moment. That's 3
Ooh.
degrees. If this is a 0
I'll take
or
3. I'll keep my back up.
is a 1 versus 3, it's not a critical difference, but
Sad.
you more than easily... Oops, what'd you say?
I said sad.
Oh, yeah. You easily managed to avoid it, pulling yourself well out of the range. Did you want to go vertically upwards or just go horizontally away?
I'll just shift still on the ground.
Okay. Its movements are definitely more akin to an almost feline style creature, the way that it stalks in slow movements while keeping a close eye on you. But that is its turn. Katie, you are currently still hanging off of Kamael's back.
I like to think, Senor Nyarlathotep is like still kind of like in his back, so my other one, Captain Cupcake, so I'm gonna kind of like peek over his shoulder and like shoot. What does lightning do to gospels? Is it like effective at all?
Well, it dealt damage to Kamael when he got shot by lightning by his ally.
Well, that's fair. And I'm gonna shoot lightning at I don't know which gospel is closer, relatively speaking.
One you're on the
Um,
back of?
You want to shoot the one that's doing the
Well, tell me.
gonging?
I don't know, either I don't know which one that is.
That would be the 14-foot gospel.
Oh yeah, I'll shoot one at the 14-foot gospel.
Okie doke. Go ahead and make a dex
Oh,
roll for
yeah.
hit to hit.
Boop. Was that good?
Okay.
Oh,
That is
it's
a degree
alright.
of success. And it is going to move to dodge, but it is not fast.
Mm.
That's 1 degree of success to 1 degree of success. You have the higher statistic. You win the tie.
Nice.
Yay.
So
Ah.
deal 1d6 of damage.
1d6 damage. Yeah, that's
Good
okay.
job.
Okay. As
Uh,
the shots strike against it, you can clearly hear so much smaller sounds, but it is still resonating like a gong each time that he's hit.
Yay! I did it! I kind
job.
of like shout, like basically like right next to Kamael's ear, and I'm like, oh, "Did you see that? That was such a cool shot. How you feeling? Did you notice my new look? Aren't I awesome? Like, oh my god, that was such a good shot."
So we're going to start with a contested strength roll.
So he didn't like that.
Now,
Are you sure I can't dex my way out of this?
no, because this is very much him trying to, like, he's grabbing onto you very quickly, and if you want to avoid it, I don't think that you can dodge easily.
Yeah.
Can you? Yeah, because
Okay.
unless you want to completely disengage from him and no longer be on his back, in which case you could dodge.
No, I'll try. I'll try. You know,
Okay.
I have 0
What's your-
ticks and strength.
Okay. Roll.
I should-
That's bad. That's really
Yeah,
bad
that's
for
pretty
you.
bad. That's
Roll
pretty bad.
66.
Are you sure?
And-
You can
66.
Yes.
disengage?
Yep. It's one of his abilities. This is not good
Six-
for you, to be clear.
I should have grabbed some ticks and strength. I did not make Katie a strength-based character, like at all.
Okay.
Okay, that's
Jesus.
still
That's-
okay.
Now, all of those are cursed dice, which means that 5s don't count as successes and 2s count as failures.
That's...
You still somehow managed to get a flat 0. However, you still did better than him.
Oh my god, can you just appreciate
Wow.
that pattern?
This is Kamael continues to job due to his stats.
I love that consistently against Kamael, every single time we fought him, he has never been able to out contest Katie. Not even once.
He clearly tries to
It's
pull you
just
off, but it
lore at
doesn't
this
work.
point.
Before he takes a slow, deep breath, calms down, and states, "All right. I can see that I'm not stronger than you."
Yeah, I'm kind of impressed by that. Like, I have spaghetti arms. I guess that I thank Fluffy for that. You know, you're way calmer than last time. Have you been taking anger management lessons? I'm so proud of you. Oh my gosh, bestie.
Oh, I've gotten very good at managing it.
I'm so
But
proud.
don't worry. You can rapidly feel his entire body starting to heat up as he stands there. It is going from uncomfortably warm to you can feel the grim tar starting to approach a boiling point.
That can't be comfy.
No, not for you.
That's toasty.
Yeah, if you continue to hold on to him, you may end up taking damage soon. But at the moment, he's just standing there.
Menacingly.
The stout gospel once again raises is a large gun structure, but rather than firing it, it seems like he reverses it at his own joint. And you can tell that the large block-like structure is swung outwards at very high speed. Okay, 2 degrees of success. And slams into the 14-foot gospel. And you can hear the gong ringing again. But this time,
Jesus.
once you hear it, it continues to ring.
Ooh.
And sound keeps ringing out, and you can hear it across the entire battlefield.
Ooh.
That is the damage that has been taken. As the stout gospel continues to just, since he's the same one who had spoken before to Jack, he ends up making eye contact with Jack as he just stands at his reasonable height. You have no idea what's going on.
Yes.
I never do.
Lynn, it is your turn.
Okay. He's kind of stout. He's kind of tall, but is he kind of lanky? He's not stout, right? That's
Uh,
not. No, the stout one's the one.
The stout one is the
Gong?
one who just spoke. The 14-foot one is the gong.
Okay. I don't know if it's gonna work, but can I try tripping up this guy and making him fall on like on his stomach so I can try to stop if that's the gong stuff? I don't know
You're
if
gonna
that
try and
matters
trip
though.
the gong guy?
Oh.
You could definitely do that. It would be
Um,
a supernatural +1 roll.
because it's like snow beneath us, so it's not
Yeah.
like anything metallic. Yeah, I'll try it. I'll see what happens.
Okay.
Open a +1.
You have your bonus
Okay,
dice.
nice. Yes.
Nice. Okay, so that is 1
2
degree of
successes.
success.
Oh,
Oh,
only
what
one.
button did I just hit? What just happened? Oh, that's what. It's like, yeah, because what? Oh no, wait, you're right, because the bonus dice erase. They take the place of the lowest dice. So that
Mhm.
is 2
Yeah.
degrees of success.
Yay.
Versus his dex is not high. 2
Get
degrees
him.
of success is enough. You end up tripping him and causing him to slam down into the ground. The ringing does not stop.
Oh,
You can tell
he
that the
just
other
keeps.
gospels are listening intently to the sound, almost like they're distracted from the battlefield itself.
Oh, he only just eats snow.
Yep.
Oh.
The Elysian soldiers, since I'm assuming third verse, same as the second.
Oh, I'm gonna still do the gravity well again, but I'm gonna change it onto the 14-foot to the gong person.
Then make another. Well, actually, no. You used your supernatural already, so you can shoot your gun,
Oh,
but you can't do the supernatural shot again, since you only get one of each in your turn.
okay, fair enough.
And your dex is already 4d6, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then we'll use that roll. In order to shoot, its durability is a little bit higher.
Wow.
Yeah, it really helps if you type it properly. Doesn't matter.
Dang.
Your
Oh,
-1 still
Oh.
beats that -2. Go ahead and make me
Oh.
1d6 damage roll.
yeah.
I had no hope. I had no hope.
Hey, there's always a chance that someone can mess up even worse than you. Okay,
Dang.
2d6. Along with that, the Elysian soldiers are going to capitalize specifically on the fact that one of them is down, and they're going to concentrate their fire. Wow, that's 0, 0, 0, 0.
Jesus
Um,
Christ.
I mean, if it's prone, it can't really dodge.
No, you're right. So, well, no, it would roll to endure. So endurance. Okay, that's -1 on the first.
Whoa.
-1 on the. Okay, so still takes damage. So the negative.
A
So
fucking
0, 0,
666
0.
is pretty damn good, though.
Yeah, no
Oh,
damage
no.
there, but yeah, that one is a 0. That one is a -1. So there is 1d6 of damage being dealt to it on top of your 2. The shots just pelt the thing as due to the specific angle that it landed. Most of the shots that impacted ended up hitting the head. While a lot of them bounce off and away, it still manages to deal a lot of damage. The only problem is that, well, the first thing that you notice is that it's not moving anymore. It's not trying to get up. The other thing you notice is that the gonging is now happening on its own and is building up even louder. You
Dang.
successfully took down the 14-foot gospel. It is dead, which means that it activates its unique ability, Death Knell. So let's see.
Uh-oh.
And I'm just going to go ahead and open my Excel spreadsheet.
Jesus
Oh, what?
Christ.
Oh, no.
Oh, and
Don't worry,
Funny.
it's all happening off screen.
that's even worse.
You
That's
successfully took
ability.
down one of them. Hunter, it's your move. The ringing of the bell is still audible and loud, even as you can tell that the gospel has completely died and is unable to move.
Yeah, unfortunately, Hunter would not know how to deal with the ringing, so he's not really going to care. What Hunter is going to do, however, is so his weapon has the quality of perfect balance. Your weapon has been balanced to a point of perfection, in addition to giving more precise control over your weapon. This also makes weapons of any type excellent for throwing. He also has heavyweight on his weapon, so your weapon weighs twice as much. It will now hit much harder, assuming you're strong enough to use it, which he has 3 strength, so he is. And recoil obviously has lesser effect on heavier weapons. He also has gravity dust forge on his blade of his weapon, which specifically will cause struck targets to be launched away from you, temporarily nullifying gravity on them. So what he's going to do is the thin guy was trying to attack Lynn, right?
Correct.
And the stout guy is still standing?
Yes, however, he's out of melee range since he's been using his gun.
Yeah, so what Hunter's going to do is Hunter is going to basically yeet his weapon at the thin guy and try to slam into him so hard that he flies backwards using the gravity nullification dust forge into his companion. It just basically causes them to like hit with full force into each other.
So we'll start by saying that you'll roll your dex and then additional 2d6 bonus dice. Since I heard 2
Nice.
specific bonuses in the form of the heavyweights and in the form of the perfectly balanced.
Yeah.
Gravity dust effect doesn't apply to whether or not you're able to hit the target, though.
Yeah. So 4 and then 2d6 bonus dice.
Okay.
How?
That is a degree of success versus its dex to dodge. That is a tie, but you have the higher statistic. You do
Alright.
land the shot.
Yay.
Go ahead and let's see, the different so it's a tie, so unfortunately you're not going to be able to knock him into the other person. It would require a significant victory to be able to make a called shot like that.
Well, so him throwing back, like he's being launched backwards. So wherever wherever backwards is quite a distance.
Certainly.
Mhm.
But there's a very large expanse of areas to be able to get knocked back, and the stout gospel is only one of them. And on a tie, you're not quite able to get that kind of aim. The thin gospel does take. Go ahead and roll a d6 of damage.
Okay. Ah, damn. These
Not
dice,
the
dude, they
best.
hate me today.
Yeah, this is. Hey, at least they don't hate you as much as they hate Kamael.
Yeah. I'm assuming it does slightly more damage because of heavyweight, since it hits so much harder.
The heavyweight is what gave you that additional bonus dice earlier.
Okay.
So you already got that benefit.
hit.
As it ends up slamming into the person due to the nullification of gravity, your weapon also has gravity nullified, so it bounces off of the target and gets pretty close to you. It'll be trivial to try and get it back, while the thin gospel is sent hurtling back a good 40 feet. It manages to stab its blade into the ground in order to slow its overall movements and ends up stopping pretty close to where Kamael and the stout one are standing, which also happens to be pretty close to where Jackalope is standing as his turn begins.
I mean, Jack would start listening to the gonging because they all seem distracted. The thing is dead, but its body. Does the body physically have a gong in it?
No, the sound is not coming from the body anymore. It was the first couple of times, but not anymore.
Oh, dang.
Instead, it
It's
feels
just like the
all
area
of the.
now?
It seems you actually have senses that allow you to see supernatural things, especially. So for you, you can tell not only is there something in the air that's vibrating in a way that creates the gong, but it's resonating with each of the bodies, including the living ones. Particularly, you can tell that
Stu?
Kamael has more of this energy around him than the other two, but the gonging is also coming from their bodies in addition to the air.
In addition
Question.
to the air.
Oh. What's the question?
Is there a tempo to it?
It is ringing every 3 seconds. It does not wait. Once the ringing starts, it doesn't erase the old one. That slowly fades out, but there are, as a result, overlapping gonging sounds that ring out.
Okay. Jackalope's gonna set himself to the tempo of the gonging.
Okay.
Specifically, he's gonna start bouncing to its tempo.
Okay. And are you making an attack on anyone?
After about, I would say, once he acclimates himself to the tempo of the gonging, he would go back in for an attack.
Okay. All 3 of the targets are within range of you if you want to move and punch them, since the thin one was knocked back towards near you. Who would you like to strike?
Jack's gonna focus on Kamau because it is kind of his main target.
Okie doke. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
Okay.
Okay. And add a bonus dice. Okay. That means you actually have 1 degree of success thanks to that bonus dice. In this case, Kamael seems to be caught off guard when you time it with the gong, because as mentioned, every time it gongs, there's this momentary lapse in their focus as it gets attracted by the gong. And here, he's just going to roll. So he's not rolling a contested strength this time. 1 degree of success versus your 1 degree of success. Counter does not increment for you. Go ahead and roll your 1d6 damage. As it strikes into Kamael, you can tell his body is starting to give. What should be solid, incredibly strong material, stronger than any stone you've encountered, you can tell it's starting to crack from the impacts. And you can tell there's, from specifically where you punched, there's now spider webbing marks outwards. We reach now the start of the overall turn order as the Thin Gospel stops, completely frozen in place, no longer stalking around. And it lowers its head to the ground and brings its blade up. It does not say anything, but it's holding an action. Let's see if anyone triggers it. Katie, it is your move, and right now, you can either choose to roll endurance to try to ignore, to try not to take damage, or you can get off to avoid damage because his body is getting to very high heats.
My endurance is decently high, but what are the other gospels doing right now?
The Stout Gospel is seemingly, but it hasn't taken action yet, so it just recently it struck at the large 14-foot one that just recently died, and it seems like it's getting ready to do something else, but until its turn, you can't really tell. But the Thin Gospel currently is crouched down very low, its head against the ice, as it's holding its blade high up in the air, currently waiting for something.
Okay. All right. Let's try and. Okay, and Lynn took off the gravity well from here, right?
No, I believe that Lynn tried to use it to deal damage on Kamael, so it should still be
Right.
active.
Right, okay. All right. I'll make things a little bit more difficult. I think. How far away is the Stout Gospel from me?
Not too far, within who disconnected.
Lynn.
Oh, Lynn. Oh, she'll
Well,
be back.
gravity well was too strong.
Yeah, too strong. Sucked in the internet too.
Yeah. You're saying?
Not within stabbing range, but within shooting range.
Okay. All right. Um. Okay. Let's see. Uh, I'm trying to figure out how to like really coolly like launch myself off of Cammy with like a gravity bullet or something. I'm trying to figure this out.
I'm just imagining you sinking into your own like grim pool and then bursting out of it like a Splatoon
Oh,
character.
dude, that would be so cool. Can I do that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Lynn. As a heads up, Katie is about to sink into her own grim flesh and then erupt out of it like a Splatoon character.
Oh my gosh.
That's really just a movement actions. As you burst out from away from him, you take no damage this turn. You can either choose to go horizontally away from him or launch yourself upward.
Uh, if I launch myself upward, can I like grapple onto the other Grim?
Yes.
Yeah, cool. I think I can use my fire blade for this one because I don't think that ice is gonna do much because we're still near Cammy, and the fire isn't gonna. I don't think it's gonna heal him like it does with Cammy.
Okay.
Yeah,
Go
so-
ahead and make a supernatural +1 roll since you're utilizing the grim fluid.
Yeah. Supernatural +1 is gonna be 5. Yeah, let's go. I'm imagining like I get off of him and it's just like, sorry, Cammy. I think your name was like Cam something. But it's getting a little toasty in here, so I'm a squid now.
My gosh.
And you outroll the stout one. As you burst through the air, erupting inside of the splash of grim flesh, you're very quickly able to use your arm as like a grappling hook, latching onto the stout grim and pulling yourself forward. And as you swing into him, you're able to stab with the force of pulling yourself inwards with the fire knife. Go ahead and roll me 1d6 for damage.
Let's heck and go.
Yeah, that's good damage.
Nice.
Okay, adjusting.
I take a lot
Okay.
of satisfaction in imagining Cammy's expressions when Katie talks.
Unfortunately for you, Kamael is not taking any of this and getting angry. He's just very, very calm.
That's very sad, but Katie's proud of him, probably.
That Kamael proceeds to then slowly his feet lower from that foot off the ground, and the heat around him just starts to spread even more. His feet as his feet impact against the ice, there's this hissing sound. But even as the ice turns to water, then boils into vapor, he's still able to stand on it as he slowly walks forward. His action is held. The stout gospel, just having now been stabbed by you, grimaces before standing up tall and walking forwards towards the other two who all seem to be moving towards each other, with you still on him.
Oh dang.
Well,
They're all trying to converge, and Lynn, you're able to see that.
Ooh. Okay. Can I try to quickly lift the cat-like one out of the ground?
Off the ground?
Or
Yeah,
maybe
go. You absolutely could.
maybe should I try the stout one. He's not as fast. He's just heavy.
He's a heavy boss, girl.
Maybe I can do the heavy one. How many
Okay.
like gravity wells would it take? All of them?
If you wanted to do it, you would have to remove the one on Kamael.
The one on Kameo? Oh, I
Yes.
see. That one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, no. Then
Oh,
yes, you're able to do it.
okay.
And
Um,
would be supernatural
yeah.
plus 1d6 as your semblance roll. Okay.
Mm,
Well, your bonus dice replaces your
Nope.
lowest. Okay. So your one is replaced by a 1.
Okay,
So
can
that is a
I
0.
do the Oh shit. Maybe I don't know if it'll help me. No, I'll save it. I'll save it.
Okay. As you're doing that, I need to remember the R. Okay, that is a 0 versus a 0. Both of you roll 4d6. That's a perfect tie there. But
Uh,
no, because you rolled 12 and 1, that makes 13 versus 13. It's literally a tie in every regard. Okay.
How do you
Give me my
resolve
extra
that?
dice.
Go ahead and roll. We're going to re-roll those because that is too perfect of a tie for me to make a split, especially on an important decision. So go ahead and roll
Beautiful.
4d6 plus 1d6, and I'll re-roll the 4d6.
Watch me get another tie. Oh my god!
Wow.
It doesn't matter what your bonus dice is.
Whoa.
Genuinely, that's the maximum that you could possibly get.
Hey,
See
you, brother.
Colty, take
That's a critical success.
Colty. You must
yes.
clip it for posterity.
Yes.
Okay.
You must pin it for
See, gone up into
posterity.
space.
Go
Bye,
ahead
brother.
and tell me. You tell me what happens here with your critical success.
She sees that they want to converge together, and that Kamael's getting a little melty and stuff like that, and thinking maybe really shouldn't have them getting together. So she starts pushing up the heavy guy. Katie's on there, but she hadn't thought that she was gonna blast this thing up and up, up and away.
Okay, the stout gospel. He seems to try to slam his weapon down in order to get some grounding, but as he swings his weapon down in an arc, he's moving up fast enough that it doesn't even graze against the ice, missing it by several inches as he's rapidly sent hurtling upwards, Katie along with him. Perhaps even surprising to you is the rate at which they both are rapidly ascending, much, much faster than normal gravity would pull a person down. I'd say that by the time you get a good focus on what's going on with that incredible power, they're already at least 60 feet in the air, and they're only going to pick up speed.
Fly through the sky, through the sky, through the sky.
It's okay. I'll catch you on your way down, Katie.
Katie, do you choose to continue
Whoa.
holding on?
Is like the guy falling?
Do
I'm
some
sorry,
extra damage up there.
I was
So
looking at
the guy that you're attached to is hurtling upwards at speeds faster than terminal velocity. You're already 60 feet in the air, and you can swear it's been only about a second at most.
Well, yeah. Actually, no. Wait, I'm gonna hold on to this guy. Did he jump
God.
or?
No, he
I'm
got
gonna
pulled
hold-
up by
oh.
Lynn's ability.
Oh, right. Yeah. Well, I'm still gonna hold on. This is fun.
Okay.
I like this actually.
Can I,
Well,
Aim him
with
like
my
a bullet.
also the self gravity, with the self gravity as well? Can I start to rise as well? Cause that cat thing on the ground.
yeah, you can rise.
Okay. Can I go
Fear
as far up as like
Magneto.
25?
What'd you say, Lynn?
Is 25 feet?
Yeah, you're able to fly up a good 25 feet. Seems pretty easy.
Sure.
Okay. And once again, the Elysians are going to do suppressing fire.
Let's try it.
Or not suppressing fire, damaging fire. That's the opposite of what I meant. Okay. So the first two are aimed at, who's the next in line? The Thin Gospel, then the other two, neither of which do anything. 0 and -1. So Kamael once again gets peppered, but it seems to not bother him. Whereas the more Leith one takes 8 points of damage. Let's see. 8. Okay. 13. And as it takes damage, it seems to relax more than anything. And you watch as its eyes shut. Hunter, you're probably the person who has the opportunity to react to this most. It swings its blade down. Do you try to interfere?
Yeah. I try shooting it.
Okay, go
See
ahead.
if I can get the blade
Dex
off
versus
course.
dex.
Well, that
That's
worked.
2 degrees of success. That's 0, so you end up winning. So you're going to shoot into the blade. 2 degrees of success means your called shot it works. You're able to shoot the blade itself, launching it far out of the Thin Gospel's hand. And it looks annoyed. But just stands up at full height and does nothing. Jackalope, your turn.
See, he was surprised that Jack was starting to move at the same rhythm and tempo as the gonging.
Yep. Every time it gongs, there's a momentary lapse in their focus, as if they can only pay attention to it in that moment that it rings. And when you struck, because you timed it with the gong, you hit at the exact moment that he was distracted.
Nice, good job.
Jack's gonna continue to focus. He's going to focus entirely on the gonging for a moment. He's gonna try to almost fall into the sound as best he can.
Roll supernatural.
I don't know, Jack. I think it's a 1. Let's see. Yeah, I think it's a 1. See. Yeah, it's a 1.
That's a degree of success, though.
Hey.
And as you fall into the sound, you're able to hear this unbidden command from the death knell. The reason, and you're able to immediately tell why the thin gospel was bringing his blade down. The reason why the stout gospel was trying to move towards them. The order that the gong declares is very straightforward and very simple. For the glory of the All-Father, kill yourself.
Oh.
The thin gospel,
What?
its turn begins, and it is you completely disarmed it, so it's not able to attack itself the way that it was about to attack itself, and instead it looks to Kamael and lunges at him. Katie, you're really high up in the air.
Whoa! Am I still holding on to a guy, or?
That's up to
Yeah.
you.
Okay. Is Birdie in my coat?
Yes.
Okay. Can flippin' I want to like try to like kick myself off of him, or no. Does he have like that sort of like big like hard surface that like gospels have?
Yes, he is made of the same almost porcelain looking, but more like marble. Marble's the word I was looking for. His body is made up of that same stiff material.
Okay. I want to like try to like launch myself off of him and then board Birdie as I like fly off of him. Is that a thing I can do?
Absolutely. When Birdie
Nice.
exits your lab coat, you're able to make him resume his full height, meaning that you're able to basically throw him out under you as he expands to his full size, and you're immediately able to take off.
Surfing on air. Okay.
Do you want
Alright.
to dive towards the rest of the group, or was there something else you wanted to do?
I feel like if I carpet bombed him, I'm gonna cause a lot of collateral damage.
Jackalope's the only one in melee range.
Can he hear me? Or is like the
You
gonging
are
and like
so
all that
far
stuff
up.
too?
Yeah, at the moment, Jack fell into the sound. So the only thing he can
Oh.
hear at the moment is the orders to kill yourself.
You're also like 100 feet in the sky.
Yeah. If I carpet bomb, I feel like it's gonna go really bad.
Do it.
When has
You know,
when has Katie ever decided not to do something because it will go badly?
Additionally,
That's
Katie,
fair.
you know in your heart of hearts, Jack would be telling you to do it.
Jackie
He's
would
the
be
only one
telling
in
me
the
to do
explosive
it.
range.
Okay, I didn't use all of my explosives when
You did not.
in that. Okay, cool. All right. Just gonna pull out a bunch of bombs, drop them off. something cool to say.
Bon voyage.
I hate that.
Bon voyage!
That's awesome.
And the bombs immediately start falling. And Kamael,
Oh my
his
goodness.
turn begins, and immediately he reaches out at the thin gospel that was charging at him, and grabs the thin gospel by the chest and lifts him over his head. The heat very sharply disappears. It feels sub-zero in an instant for all of the people on the ground level.
Maybe
And
they'll
a
be
moment
warmed up by the bombs.
and a moment later, a massive beam of solar energy sears through the entire torso of the thin gospel. It wasn't able to die, so it jumped on Kamael's attack. And
Wow.
this attack, a laser beam, is also aimed upwards. Lynn,
Mm.
because you're using your ability, you can roll to move the stout gospel out of the line of fire.
Oh yeah, let's try
If-
it.
Okay.
Wait.
If
Hold
that's
on.
what you want, if you want to
Who's
save the stout
also
gospel.
above? Who's also
Why?
above?
Yeah, I don't want them to.
Yeah. Now here's the thing.
I
You
can
can
move it. Try moving them both.
Okay. The thing is, since it's not your turn itself, you're able to do a reaction, but you don't have multiple reactions per round off of your turn.
Mhm.
In this case, roll speed, and that'll determine whether or not you're able to move fast enough to hit both of them. Since it's not a guarantee.
No, speed is no bueno.
It's a non-zero chance.
Mm.
What is your speed level? Sorry, repeat that. You cut out.
0.
Oh, on a
Oof.
if your stat is 0, then you fail on a 1 or a 2 because you roll a cursed dice.
Yep.
Oh boy. You can only save one of them.
Well, it has to be Katie.
Has to be Katie.
Has to be Katie.
Katie, you very sharply feel your entire body lurch in the wrong direction, along with Birdie, as gravity upends itself, and you are tossed to the side.
Oh, that's some weird turbulence. Don't worry, it's not the first time we flipped upside down, right, Birdie? I think that happened.
And as you're saying that, a massive beam of energy rips through the air and draws a line and bisects the stout gospel,
Whoa!
very nearly carving through you as well, as you can just smell something burning in the air itself.
Yeah.
That's
He didn't
not
even have to roll to
good.
hit. He just got it.
Flip.
All the
As
bombs in the air just go poof.
no, it's a thin beam. He's
Oh.
not able to blow up all of the bombs. The bombs are still falling.
Thanks.
Uh,
Flip's like, thanks, Lynn.
Only Lynn's able to hear you.
That's why I shouted.
Yeah.
as the Gospels die, the gonging, Jack, you hear it ring out one last time that feels like it shakes you to your core. And the order has changed. Avenge your brothers. And Kamael relaxes completely and utterly. And that smile spreads, and those spider webbing cracks, golden light begins to pour out of them, shining as the cracks spread even more across the entire body. And a moment later, he explodes.
What?
Everyone on the ground, make an endurance roll, since you can't dodge an explode. No, you can. You can, because you made those trenches. You can dodge the explosion. If you want to dodge the explosion, you can roll to do it. Katie, you're too high up. You're not affected by this.
Yeah.
See,
RP endurance.
Nice. And I'm
Alright.
up in the air.
Okay.
Jack,
Oh,
glory, glory. He's too far. He walked all the way up to them. They haven't gotten closer, and Jack speeds it too.
yeah, so it's just you just make eye contact as he detonates. Lynn,
Yeah.
you're
Oh,
high,
no.
you're in the air, so you're able I'll describe what happens in a moment, but you're not going to take damage from this. Hunter, with 1 degree of success, you are in fact able to dodge. You're
Oh, he's just
barely
enduring
able
it.
to- Oh, you're rolling to endure. Never
Yeah.
mind. Okay, you and Jack are both taking damage.
Ooh, question, Kane.
What's that?
I'm hearing this. I'm getting the full understanding of what's going on. Does this just apply to Gospels?
It's spoken in a language that does not speak. It is something that whispers into your soul itself. So, if, for example, it would trigger your PTSD because it sounds like your own inner monologue, then yes, I suppose you would hear "avenge your brothers" as a direct command from your own psyche.
Smiles.
Yeah.
Most of his
Cool.
people are dead.
Avenge your brothers, yeah.
Oh, no.
And let's see. So Hunter will take half damage, Jack will take full damage.
Mm.
Which in this case is 8. So Hunter takes 4, Jack takes 8.
Nice.
I forget
Ooh.
how long ago any of you took any damage,
I haven't been
so
hurt.
I don't know what your healths are. Yeah, I think all of you have just not gotten hit
Yep.
Yeah.
because I just keep rolling up. Yeah, no, nothing. This is the
Very
first time any of
lucky.
you are taking damage. This is what happens every time you fight Kamael.
God, Cammy, come on.
You should have
up
just
your
come on the
game.
our side.
You didn't even roll 4 ones this time.
No,
But Lewis did
y'all just
roll
rolled 4 6s.
Yeah.
And
You have to implement this into the lore somehow.
so the thing is, when I write the character sheets, it's usually based on epithets. You know,
Mhm.
Kamael, Rage of the Father, or Kamael, the Living Son. Now that you have defeated Kamael, Judgment's Justicar, he enters his final form.
Jesus
Oh.
Christ.
Uh-oh.
And everything around you, you can see dirt, seared and charred black. The ground itself has been there is no ice anymore. You have hit what should be permafrosted grass. And that grass died in flames as the entire surrounding area is just burnt. And standing at the center of it, he doesn't look the same. If anything, he looks thinner. He looks weaker. But he looks content. His robes are just this. Instead of being trimmed with red, they're now trimmed with gold. Kamael, he who strikes down the stars, is now your opponent.
Ooh.
Oh.
Now, let me go ahead and the hatred counter, which, yes, that was a hatred counter. Good guess. The hatred counters are as follows.
Aw, come on. I'm not S rank. Aw, man, I gotta step it up.
It's based on each time that an attack was made against Kamael, or when an attack was coordinated through one of the Gospels.
My vicious
Which was-
mockery didn't work.
Vicious Mockery, you're not a bard, so it didn't deal damage.
Man.
Now, in this case, okay. Now,
Oh, goodness.
so Hunter takes 15 points of damage.
Oh my gosh.
Good God.
Jack takes
Oh.
19.
Oh my
Oh.
gosh.
Katie only takes 9.
Ow.
Holy crap.
Lynn takes 14.
Oh my
Fucking hell.
gosh.
Soldiers take 8. A good number of the soldiers do not survive the detonation. Most of them do. Fair number of them are injured, and they're very quickly filing back through the portal in order to treat their injuries in the med bay that you're attached to. But there are more than a couple of bodies that do not stand back up.
Eesh.
And the pain that strikes through you is not one from just the detonation. You feel like there is something inside of your stomach that's trying to work its way up and out through your body. Like it's trying to claw and rip its way through your torso. It is cold. It is deeply and unbearably cold. In the case of, we'll talk about Jack in just a second, but in the case of Lynn, Hunter, and Katie, all of you feel so cold that it's really difficult to keep yourself from shivering. Despite the fact that the entire area is probably a nice, balmy 80 degrees, you feel like you've been thrust into an ice bath. Lynn,
I was boiling 2 seconds ago.
Lynn, the explosion ended up pushing you a fair bit back since you were in the air and less affected by gravity, but you didn't take damage. It just means that you're now a fair bit further away than you were. And Jack, I don't know what's going through Jack's head right now. I don't know if he is present enough to shiver. You tell me.
He's whistling and singing loudly.
Okay.
It's not Claire de Lune, which is what he was singing before. It's not even coherent. It's just noise to
goodness.
everyone around him. But he's actively swaying to it. And there's a grin on his face.
Okay. As you kind of stand there, are you able to... Is Jack able to see and hear? Or is he currently in his own head?
He sees in front of him, he's hearing nothing. He's got music playing in his ears. The ringing from the explosion turned into a melody to him.
Okay.
He's living up to the Songbird Squad name right now.
All right. There's a moment where Kamael looks at Jack. He speaks softly, and yet the air itself reverberates with the words. No matter how far away from him you are, you can hear him clear as day. You're just like my brother. That was experimented on by Oswald. Broken. Useless. And let's see. I have to change his initiative because we are now... See, the Elysian soldiers. The Elysian soldiers are removing from combat. That was too dangerous.
Oh goodness.
Kamael.
Oh yeah, fine for us.
Yeah. Kamael will take the final action in the round. Now, we're going to... Katie's technically at the top of the round, but we're going to move past Katie and assume that you're... Are you coming down, Katie?
Have I run out of bombs?
They're falling.
I'm not coming down until I run out of bombs.
Okay, then you're still up there throwing bombs down.
Yeah, I got my bird up here. I want to be decently out of eyesight of the whole beams thing. But you know,
Bird up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lynn, it's your move.
Okay. I'm already up off the ground somewhat. I take offense to what he said for Jack, that he was broken. Like he's kind of messed up, but he's not broken. Not yet. And then I'll take a shot at Kamayo. Two
Not
shots.
yet.
And then the gravity.
Okay.
Her
Go ahead and
conversation with Jack that makes her feel like she needs to back it up.
roll Dex as well as Semblance.
It was Dex and Supernatural. Oh, 9.
Yeah. And your semblance gets that plus 1d6.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dang. All right.
Hell
Okay.
yeah.
That is 3 degrees of success. Now, let's see. Kamael, he who strikes down the stars. His ability is okay. So you rolled 4d6 and then 4d6 plus 1d6. Those are okay. The first one, he rolls a -1 against your +1. That is a success. You rolled a 3 degrees of success versus 3 degrees of success. Your stats are mirrored, but you rolled 23 to the 21. So you will successfully hit with both shots.
Oh, nice. Heck yeah. So, sniper attack, and then gravity.
12
Boom.
points of damage. And as they slam into him, you feel your body warm up a little bit. But he doesn't seem perturbed. Even as the bullets themselves, as they got close, they didn't just melt, they disintegrated. They disappeared into the ether. And as you try to pull him apart, you can feel the energies pulling in directions. But rather than harming him, it seems to be making you feel warmer. You're not as cold as you were a moment ago.
Hmm. Is
Hunter,
it like...
it is your move.
Hunter's gonna follow suit with Lynn, and he's just gonna take a pot shot at Kamael.
Okay. Go ahead and make that roll. That's pretty good.
Let's go,
Right.
baby.
And 46 versus 46 automatic.
Come on.
Okay, well,
Whoa.
that's 3 degrees of success versus 2 degrees of success. You do land the shot.
Thank goodness. Okay. Was that just a D6 plus 3?
Whoa.
All right.
Okay. Your body is warming up. I misspelled that.
Hmm.
Okay. Not going to include what the unique abilities effects are, but those are the names of his 4 unique abilities. Jack,
Goodness.
Yep.
where does the melody
Jack's-
carry you?
It carries Jack home for a moment. He sees everything in front of him right now. And in a direct line to Kamael, sits his allies, pointing. It's mixing the terrains in his head. From the jungles in China to the volcanic region of the East Coast. West Coast. That he spent. And the words, "avenge us." And Jack stops humming for a second and simply says the command and then the statement, "You are in the way." As he just starts walking towards Kamael, loading his gun. Not his pistol, his arm cannon.
Amael just smiles down at you. Oh, broken lamb.
Shh, do you hear that?
All
Claire
I
DeLone's
hear,
playing again.
I see.
As Jack's gonna fire into himself.
Oh, jeez.
He's absorbing
What?
kinetic energy. He's not trying to
Yep.
subvert the damage. He's absorbing as much as possible.
Okay. I'm gonna say that at the very least, you're guaranteed 1 full pip of power from that, no matter what. Your arm cannon was reinforced by the Grim 2 pips. And go ahead and roll 1d6 for the amounts of charge on top of the 2 successes. Okay, so you're at 3.1 successes banked thus far.
Mm.
You absorb kinetic energy, don't you?
Only kind.
I see. Let me help you with that. Now,
Yeah.
Hunter had 5 Curse of Hatreds. Jack had 6. Katie had 4. Lynn had 5. The soldiers had 2.
Mhm.
That is 22.
He didn't use them up?
No,
He just keep racking
that
up?
is the total number
Oh, dang.
from that point. There have been 2 attacks on him thus far. At the start of the round, in other words, right after he goes, the bombs will hit. Let's see. No, he's just going to put all of it into 1. He's going to put his hand gently on Jack's chest. Three degrees of success.
Fucking
Okay.
hell.
Ooh.
Go ahead and roll to endure, since I'm assuming that you're not in a headspace to dodge. Okay, that is a degree of success, not quite enough. You will take the difference, so 2d6 of damage. 6. You do not just take the 6 points of damage. You feel colder, but Kamael wants. He wasn't. He really meant it when he said, "Let me help you with that." You gain 6 more successes.
Fuck.
Oh, no.
Oh.
That's
As
too
he
much
just-
for him.
He
No.
smiles. And he raises his hand, and the bombs fall. And as they start going off, Hunter and Jack are both on the ground. So you will both have to roll to endure the explosions. Lynn, you're in the air, so while you will get tossed around a little bit, it's not too bad. Okay, 2 degrees of success. Yeah, that's going to be enough to have the damage incoming. Now, Katie's bombs will deal 2d6 to each person. So that is a good amount of damage. Jack is halved, so it's going to be
Is
halved down to
this
5
an
points of damage.
aura-related end check, by the way?
It is an explosion.
No, the check that I'm making, the endurance check, is an aura-related check?
Sure, I'll say yes.
Okay. Ta-da. All right.
Okay.
Well, I tried.
So Hunter takes
Something.
11 points of damage, which means that
Dang.
you
I
have
am
taken
down.
let's see. Looking at it now, Hunter, 5 of them, 5d6. You took 15 points of damage earlier.
Mhm.
And then you took 11 there. That's 26. Did you take
And
damage
then-
earlier in the fight?
Yeah, I took 4.
Oh, yeah. You are the bombs.
Oh.
God
You're
dang
at
it.
exactly 0 health.
Hey, look, I try, man. I just keep accidentally killing him with bombs. I'm
You're
sorry.
really good at it.
Kamael will take the full damage, but but rather than just taking it, he funnels the explosive energy. Jack, get another 6 successes.
Gotcha.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh.
So how many does that make now?
You are at 13.1. No, wait, 15.1. I guess 0.1 is 15 and 1/6, but like it's
Are you-
basically 15.1.
Are you gonna nuke this place again?
He's gonna nuke everything
them
and
to you.
everyone.
How much does his arm even do? Oh no.
As the
Last time he
explosions are
lost
going
his
off.
arm, it was 7.
And it
Kamael
caused an
just-
impact.
It caused quite an impact. That Kamael slowly leans in and says, "Is that enough, little lamb?"
Jack doesn't respond to that.
I see. I suppose it is then. Do you have your orders? soldier. Katie, are you continuing to throw down bombs?
I don't see why not. I don't think it's occurred to her yet that she might not have enough bombs for Oswald.
Okay. You continue to toss out bombs.
Yeah, she just like glances over at Birdie. He's like, "Do you think this is enough? Do you think you want me to do more? Do you think I've accidentally killed Red Guy again yet?" Because I totally forgot about him when I started. I'm gonna be real with you, Birdie. But like, I'm like, I'm doing it for the vine. It's just like, I don't know if this is enough.
Doing it for the vine.
Yeah, that's right, Birdie. That's what I'm thinking too. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm gonna check.
Bon voyage,
15?
bitches.
15, 12. You think that's good? I don't know. I just like kind of like just
Dump
kind of
your
like
satchel.
roll them off of Birdie. It's just like, yeah, maybe a couple more of that. It's a nice color.
Sorry, I realized that there was a chunk of text I need to copy. Real quick, can you tell me what you were doing? Don't worry about it. Don't worry.
Just dumping a satchel of bombs off Birdie.
Okay. All right. The bombs continue to fall. It's a lot. Lynn, the bombs are detonating. Everything is going off. Hunter has been knocked unconscious. Jack is focusing only on what's in front of him, and Kamael's words are clearly taunting Jack into pushing himself even further into this.
No
Katie is
one's
long
told-
out of sight, and just this isn't looking good, Lynn. So what do you do?
Someone needs to lasso Katie back into reality. She doesn't know when the bit ends.
Snap back to reality.
Oh, there
Think
goes
of
gravity.
gravity.
Oh, let's go. So, wow, she is definitely taking this all in. Oh my goodness gracious. Gotta, like, seeing Hunter go down, she's instantly gonna try to help pull him away from their fighting area over there. And then just looking at Jack with this extremely worried face.
Okay.
Just think,
Well, Hunter's not resisting, so you're
Okay.
able to get him into the area safely.
yeah, I'll use gravity and pull him back away from where I am. Well, I'll create a distance.
Okay. Then, Hunter, you're unconscious. You can't take a turn.
Mm.
yeah, the biggest danger to the jumpers are themselves. And
Accurate.
Jack, it's your turn. You have 16 and 1/6.
Yep. So Jack's gonna raise an arm, and as he raises his arm, his eyes are gonna shoot over to one of the pointing figures. The person who shoved him in the water. And the smile fades. The grinning madness subsides for a moment. Live. We learned with Jack's semblance that he can half and half. He's gonna protect himself with half of those charges. The
Okay.
other half are going into Kamael's stomach.
Okay, that is 8 degrees of success guaranteed on top of your rolling for strength. Okay, that is 9 degrees of success.
And he's protecting himself with the other half of those charges.
And Kamael will in turn. Statistically, you've got the advantage here. I think you land this. But for every curse of hatred, he rolls 1d6. And that's a lot of ones.
Fucking
Whoa.
Christ.
Okay, so that's 1, 0, -1, 0, -1, -2, -3, -2, -1, -2, and -2. That's a critical difference by
Oh.
quite a lot.
Oh.
So, the difference is so -2 versus 9. So go ahead and roll 7d6 damage.
Whoa.
Alright.
Oh my gosh!
Whoa!
Holy shit.
Whoa!
There is a sound. The first thing that you hear is nothing. There is complete and utter silence. And then there is a roaring. All you can hear a moment later is ringing. Your vision is almost burned. Like staring into a light for a moment too long, you can't see through anything except the flash of the detonation of energy that just took place. Katie, you don't think you dropped a nuke, and yet it looks like one. Lynn, go ahead and make me a dex roll, because the detonation force from this, since you're in the air, may cause you to start spiraling out.
I exploded them so hard they had a baby.
Oh no! +1 because the other stuff, because my personal gravity. Okay.
No. Okay, that's only 1 degree of failure. You're not going to take damage, but you are now thrown far enough away that you're not sure. You're back in the snowstorm. The entire continent wasn't shown the sun, but you've been launched out of the battlefield. But Jack, you hear the ringing. The lights are there, but in front of you there is Kamael. Everything is white in the world around you. You just seem to be standing in an empty world. Are you awake now, Lamb?
Stop calling me that, you damn stinking weirdo. Where are we? Did you kill me? Am I dead now?
Not quite. This is a place in between moments. I was alone with my thoughts. And everything that took place changed my mind. And I'm realizing exactly what it means. Each time that this happens, I change. Each time you kill me, I'm different. You defeated me before and I changed. You defeat me now and I'm changing. I changed when I detonated. I'm changing now. How much have you changed?
Quite a bit.
I see.
If I was the person I used to be, I would never have gotten as close as I did to you. I would not be putting my neck out for people I barely know, realistically, and I wouldn't be here.
Do you see them as your brothers? Your sisters, even? Those ones that stand beside you now?
They're the closest thing I've got to family, if that's what you're asking.
But do you say they're the closest thing? But are they family?
I don't know. I can't answer that because I don't know what family means. I've never had one. I've
I
only
see.
had brothers, I've only had sisters, I've only had comrades. I've only had the people who looked at me through glass that trained me to kill. This is the first freedom I've ever really experienced that wasn't oppressive. I'd rather protect that. I'd rather live. Like they
Well.
wanted me to.
Then live. I remember the apostasy, every moment of it. But my rage falls away. Like scales from my eyes, I think I can see now why they did it. But in the end, it doesn't really matter, does it? Oh well.
Hey,
Neither, I suppose that in the end, both of us will disappoint our former comrades.
it happens. Did you ever actually figure out what hate meant? Seems like neither of our answers is quite the right one.
Yes, I think I did. Because right now, I know for certain that when I open my eyes, I will never see my brothers again. Not just because of my own actions, but because you'll kill me. And then you'll kill my brothers. You'll kill my father. They will all die.
No, they won't. Cherubim's still out there. He's got some of them. Those that just wanted to live. That didn't want to fight. You hate so you can protect. You feel
Well.
rage because you don't want those things to go away. But at the end of the day, all you wanted was to feel like you had peace.
Well, a beautiful thought. But in the
Maybe.
end, I really am just too selfish for my brothers. And nothing makes that more clear than right now. I know what hate is. And I don't hate humanity. I hate you. Your vision restores, and you're able to see the area around you. You're in a crater. And there are parts of Kamael's body across the ground now. He is broken like marble, split and shattered. And his last words ring out. Even Lynn, tossed into the snowstorm that is in the distance, can hear him softly say, "And my hatred is that of the beast." All of his body parts glow with that same golden light as when he first changed stages. He is going to detonate himself one last time to try and kill you. Do you have any response?
Burying myself in the ground beneath. Getting things between me and the shockwave.
Okie doke.
Was there
Make
any
a
way that I could try to claw my way, throw myself back into here so I can try and get Jack out?
make
I
a
was super
dex
worried.
roll. So in order to do that, I would need to see a successful dex roll to stabilize yourself and a successful speed roll to get to him. If those two were successes, then yes, you can.
Launch him upwards so that I can catch him.
Oh, I don't know. Okay, so what, dex and speed? I don't think. Ooh, okay.
Oh?
Speed?
Okay, that is 2 degrees. That is 1 degree of success. That's a success.
Yeah.
That's a fail.
0.
You're not fast enough to make it there. But after a second, you hear a familiar sound. Hands clapping together. The detonation goes off, and Katie, go ahead and roll for 3d6 damage.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Clapping?
You take 10 points, and how much did you take? Yeah, you only took 9 from the previous thing. You're
yeah,
damaged pretty badly.
I did take... Didn't I take some damage from when that guy shot me and Cammy?
Oh, you're right. Did you
Was
took
that 5?
5. Okay, so 10 and 5 and 9, 24. You're down to 6 points of health.
Ow.
The detonation goes off in the sky above you, Jack. Uncomfortably close to Katie.
Ow!
You did
Freddy,
pretty
are you
good.
okay?
But you still have one more opponent to face off against. And he's not foolish enough to come outside, where you can take advantage of that. Matarael says.
Fuck did he get there?
Like I said,
How
the sound of clapping. Matarael's ability allows him to move objects in space, so long as he prays.
Oh yeah.
He may be He may be missing an arm, but he doesn't need it. Of course, it was still teleported high enough to hurt Katie, though.
Wait, is that the one that gave me his arm, or is that the other guy?
He's the one that brought back good vibes
Yeah.
against his will. He didn't want to do it, but he is the
Good
one from the
vibes.
Grim World.
Oh my god, that was his name. Yes.
Yeah,
No,
Mataraya.
wait. It's,
Well, rest in peace, brother. But peace is not for you to have yet. You still have more to do. 2, maybe 3 more battles.
Well, it's a war of attrition at this point. They won't come out, and we're too hurt to go down. So there will be a moment between.
Rest up.
Oswald.
are currently held behind Oswald's. We'll open up a path for you to attack the Allfather directly, if you're able to remove him. But
He's
if
our
not,
next target. He's our next target anyway.
yes. But if you're unable to defeat Oswald, my forces will be the first ones to launch an attack on the city of Atlas.
Jesus Christ.
goodness gracious.
Well,
End this war now, or I will wage it.
gotcha. By the way, I didn't get to say it last time. Thanks. And thanks for this as well.
You have a self-destructive streak, Jackalope.
Yep. That's not new.
Well, best of luck to you. Feel free to send a message ahead to Atlas. I'm going to be setting up an ambush now, but it wouldn't be fair if I didn't give you a warning. Rest. And if you die, so be it. He pats you on the shoulder with his one arm and mutters, but good luck in there.
Thanks.
A moment later, there's a sound like clapping, and he's just gone. You have successfully taken down Kamael. But one thing is for certain. The battle's not over. There will be more that comes next time on RWBY Terminal Season.
Hell
Yeah.
All right,
Oh
move
my
over to my
gosh.
end screen. Alrighty. Well, hopefully you guys all enjoyed that. Everyone who's been watching so far. We're gonna go ahead and do raid. Probably to my friend Speary, because she's playing some Marvel Rivals. I haven't seen too much of it, and I haven't talked to her for a little bit, so I kind of want to pop over and chat with her. If you guys are interested in talking with her as well, or just seeing her for a little bit, she has very odd streaming times because of her work at the moment, but feel free to pop over in the raid with me. If you guys are interested in seeing more of our content, we're going to be coming back tomorrow with some Monster Hunter Wilds, followed by a Plague Tale instance, probably finishing it on Wednesday, and then a Dead by Daylight collab on Thursday, and some D&D on Friday and Saturday. So I will see all of you fine folks next time that we see you. We'll be doing Jumpchain again next week, Monday at 7 p.m. PST, hopefully. Alright. Have a good night, ladies and gentlemen, and I will see you all later. Bye!
Auf Wiedersehen.
Bye.
Arrivederci.